Hey y'all. So, right now we are a little bit past 7 months. I figure I would come and I would go ahead and do an update now, because I did the other one so late, that we were almost at 7 months actually when I did that 6 month update. So yeah, this is now we're at 7 months. We are in the seventh month at this point. And I'm actually into the seventh month. Like, I refilled the prescription probably a week and a half ago. So we're definitely well into 7 months. Um, I don't know how many. Let's see. We were at 180 last time, so then that would be 210 days, um, that we are a little bit beyond at this point. And yeah, so this is the that update and some of the physical changes that have happened so far. As you guys can see, today I'm wearing a little bit of enhancement. I just decided that it was time to show you guys kind of more the way that I look in real life. I did want to make sure, I mean, like without the makeup, of course, it's more the way that I look in real life. But what I mean is, from time to time, I do like to beat my face a little bit, and I just wanted to make sure that at the beginning, anyway, everything that you are seeing was natural and was coming from the hormonal changes. But at this point, I think we're far enough out that like the hormonal changes have taken shape enough to the extent that like the makeup it isn't really making a difference to how to well, I was gonna say to how feminine I look, but makeup has no choice but to make a difference to how feminine you look. I guess it has no bearing on like whether I look like a girl or not. I guess you know what I mean. Like I look as much like a cis girl as I would want to. Honestly, I want to touch on that a little bit because I sometimes get the sense, not often, but I sometimes get the sense that people think that my goal is to be a cis girl or to be like a cis girl. And I just want you guys to know that like the reason I do these videos and the reason I am so open about like my transition and stuff is because I never intend to to be anything but what I am. You know what I mean? I am a trans girl, like, and I'm very proud of myself. Like, I'm very proud of the fact that like I was I was born with a body that didn't make me happy, and I made the choice, and I took responsibility for my own life and my own happiness and changed it. Like that's a part of me, that's a part of my story. So I would never want to I would never want to be stealth, as people call it. That's fine, whatever. Like whatever people don't know is their business. Like I don't care. What I mean is that I just don't care whether people know or not. Do you know what I mean? Like I am who I am and I am what I am, and honestly, like I'm very proud of myself and I find myself beautiful. Um, and it was a hard road to get here. Do you know what I mean? Like it was tough for me to sort of climb my way out of all the things that were suppressing and repressing me and making me feel not worthy and not like beautiful. So today, I decided that I would put on a little bit of makeup, and we went off into a whole tangent there, a whole other story. I told you in the last update video, which was super super late. Uh, I told you in the last update video that I had moved. I revealed that to you guys, and um, so, and I also said that I would show you around a little bit when I got the chance to. So now that I'm home, I will go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and just pan around so you guys can see what's going on here. This is not the typical position of everything, just so you know, because I moved the couch closer to the lovely window here so that I could have more light, so I could have better lighting. So here we go. I guess the first thing, well, the window. How about that? So this is Coley, the Coleus, such a good friend of mine. He's been growing so big and strong. And then that is my dear friend Deer. He's such a dear, guys. Um, Lovely view. Yeah, sure. You know, this big old church over there that kind of blocks the sunset, but it's okay. We'll go with it. It's, you know, it's a beautiful structure, so why not? Um, let's see. So this is just messy kitchen, workstation, like laboratory area here. Yeah, I call this area my laboratory because it is. It's my lab. So hallway here, you know, my bedroom's over there to the left, and the bathroom's over there to the right, and then that door right there leads outside. There's really not much to the place. It's, you know, you know, it's a good amount of space for me. It's what I need. So there's not much of a tour to give. It's just, you know. But I love it here, and I'm really happy with the change, and I'm really happy um, to have completed the move, and because that was something that was that was something that was definitely like in the works for a while. It was something that was in the works for a while, and like things just kept sort of delaying it. And so by the time it actually happened, like you guys must imagine, I am just thrilled at this point. So yeah, I've just been enjoying it, and just you know, what I like, I think I told you before, what I like is there's more trees. Like there's more trees, and not that Providence is excuse me, not that Providence is in any way like this giant city with no nature. Like it's not like New York, right? But there are more trees here. There's more trees, and there's more space. Like there's less. It just feels like kind of like home, in the sense that things are less close together. Things are Homes are farther apart and things like that. Like in South Carolina, um, but not as intense in that way as South Carolina can be, honey. I have lived. In fact, a large portion of my childhood was spent in this house. It's actually gone now. It's not there anymore. It burned. And but okay, so I'm gonna tell you the story first. So anyway, large portion of my childhood was spent in this house where you couldn't see the nearest neighbor. It was surrounded by a field where they grew different things, mostly cotton. Um, but then in like the off season, these other plants would pop up that I have no idea what they were. Anyway, there was surrounded by a field, and you could see no other houses. Like the nearest neighbor was like probably a mile down the road, which is not all that far, but it's the closest neighbor. Otherwise, there's no other houses. So that was pretty fun, and just window into my world to show you how I got shaped this way. Yeah, you know, our environments shape us. Anyway, let's see. There's other. So, um, another new happening. I actually have at this point. I've had. I don't know if you can tell I did something, but I've had my first round of laser hair removal. So, and that actually the results have worked out pretty well. This is only one session that I've had so far, and as you can see, like the appearance and the smoothness is a lot improved. I am wearing makeup, but I mean, it's smooth. Like it's, you know, besides the makeup, like it's actually smooth. Like the texture is smooth, and it wasn't before. There were bumps. There was there were bumps sometimes, and then there was obviously like the stubble in the hair. Um, so I tell people this a lot, that it was growing in anyway, like probably like a what you would expect from like a 17-year-old. I never got like I never got that full on like I don't even know like you know people's dads beards. It was just like yeah, so but yeah, we're taking care of that, and in the way that it's gonna be permanent and forever, and yay. I actually, I'm gonna tell you, but the thing is, like, the one drawback was that, okay, so it worked, and the hair is reduced, and I have more sessions. But you guys, I had a really bad experience at the place. I had a really bad experience there, and I don't, at this point, I don't want to go back. Like, really, like I don't want to go back. So, I'm trying to decide. I'm deciding at this point what exactly I'm going to do about that and how to handle that. I'm thinking that I'm just going to let them know that, like, the way that I feel. Like, I think I'm just going to be honest about, like, my perception of my experience there, and just let them know that I really, really don't want to come back, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they will. Maybe they will just change my the person who does the treatments. I don't really know. I don't really know what they're gonna do, but um, I don't foresee getting. I don't foresee getting a refund. I don't foresee getting my money back at this point. So I guess now we're just, it's now to, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But let me just tell you about what happened. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and have the hair removal. So I looked on Groupon, where I had been kind of watching to come across one that was doable for me. Like one that, because when you have, when you have, when you have darker skin and darker hair, there's a specific, a couple specific kinds of lasers that are going to be optimal. They're going to give you the best results, and they're going to work best because usually they work based on melanin or pigment. And so if you have more pigment in your skin, then you're a little bit, you're just a little bit more in danger of like burns and discoloration than like people who have a huge contrast between their skin and their hair color. Um, because it actually can be difficult for really fair people with light hair to find suitable laser hair removal as well, because again, these, it's all based on pigment. Anyway, I found one, this place actually not far from where I work, and I went over there. I actually called over there first just to ask a couple questions before I bought the sessions, and so I was told to come over there. So I went over there, and I'm not really even sure why I was told to come over there, because when I went over there, like, I had like a very quick conversation in which the person who I was coming to see, like, and actually the person who had told me to come over there was just kind of like almost like they didn't even know why I was there. So I just took the papers that they gave me, to like the waivers and stuff, and that way I would have those done by the time I came back. So I made my appointment. I came back. When I went back over there, so I was given the papers I was given the papers with the intention that I would have a consultation. Um, when at my first visit, so I would have a consultation. I would bring back the papers and all of that. Which, thinking back on it, I should have not gone for that. I should have made them do the consultation first, just because at every other place that I went to, and that every other place that I considered, I did the consultation first. That way, my needs were mapped out, and everybody was aware of what needed to happen, and like how we can make it happen. So anyway, I didn't get a consultation. I got these papers, but I didn't get a consultation. When I got back over there, they just took the papers and I just sat there and waited for like 20 minutes. Just, while they did like clerical things and just like, I didn't know really, nobody really like asked me questions about what I needed or why I was, I was like, why are you here? And then, okay, laser hair removal, all right. Like, but like I said, I had got used to having a consultation where we really got that figured out. So anyway, because we didn't have the consultation, we had some misinformation, and that being that like I had purchased sessions for a full face, which is like a large size area. So I also wanted to do my neck, which would have been a smaller area. Um, and I didn't realize that like that part of the bottom part of my face, like chin, upper neck, was not included in full face or like large area. So we got into the treatment room, and obviously that was an issue. Um, but at this point, I was, although like I was really excited and I was like really sort of put off by this sort of being missed. I wanted to just go ahead and get it squared away. So I asked a bunch of questions about like how I could, all related to how I could make the other part happen to that day, like at the same time. And so obviously, that came with talking about like how to get it paid for because, it's not included and that's it. Like it's. So I asked a few questions and tried to get that all squared away. Let me just, like the technician that was with me, like was didn't really know much about what pricing or what was going on, couldn't really tell me much about how to make the other portion happen right then. She kept throwing out numbers, but then she would like run over and like be on a calculator silently, like, and then she was giving me all these different numbers, so I had no idea. I was really confused, and I just, so after about 10 minutes of us being in this room, with her giving me different numbers and just kind of going back and forth and just honestly, like as soon as I started to ask her questions, like she was being very defensive. So after a while, I just gave up, and I was just like, okay, well, let's go ahead and just do this part, and then we can, I can worry about anything else later. And so she went ahead and did it. In the meantime, she was talking about male clients, and she referred to me. I told her my gender identity. I did reveal that to her and let her know, like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like I'm female. And her response, you guys, was, oh, you should have said something. So that was the response, that I should have said something. I should have announced myself as soon as I entered the room, I suppose. I don't know, but from the beginning, she had like this creepy like grin on her face that was like, I don't know. It was weird. It was almost like I said, from getting there, like everybody was super defensive and just kind of like not really welcoming or warm to me. And so it just seemed like to me, I had been over there already once, and it just seemed like to me, when you're being talked about and you come in, and people have to people have to pretend something else is going on. They're not talking about you. So anyway, um, everybody was just super defensive. Yeah. So then that was her response to it, that like I should have said something. So then she just continued on, and we got the session done, and then she was like, "Oh wait, okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna figure out that information for you, the information I was asking her about." So once we're done, we go out into a hallway. She calls two different people over. So now two different people have come over and are talking to me, and like, um, you know, really at this point, I was so confused. Like I just had like all this like, I just had all this like laser light shot into my head. Like, I was like, I did this right before work. I was like running like a few minutes behind for getting over to work. Like, it was just it was just a lot guys. So then like three people come up in rapid succession to talk to me about something that a subject that I had kind of fallen off of, you know, 10 or 15 minutes prior to meeting them. So we're in this hallway and there's these different people coming to talk to me. And what I was taken by, guys, is still the fact that like I wasn't given a consultation. Like I still wasn't taken into like an office or a room somewhere where I could sit down and talk to somebody. I was being like talked at in a hallway. Like because the technician went off and asked whatever questions she asked, which could have been very far away from my original questions, because she didn't have the concerns that I had. Do you know what I mean? Like she just wanted to get to her next client, which I guess is understandable, um, but it's important to like treat your customers with respect anyway. So at this point, being out in the hallway, she again called me. This time, she called me the wrong pronoun. She called me a male pronoun. And you guys, I mean, look at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, I'm not dolled like this every day. But I was going to work, so I was going out, and I live as a woman. Like, so I had on women's clothes. I think I had on like a t-shirt because I was going to work, which is pretty unisex. Um, but I mean, like it's not like there was all this confusion. Do you know what I mean? It's not like there were all these things that would confuse a person, especially when somebody tells you, you still use the wrong pronoun. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what happened. By this point, like I just wanted to leave. I was late. Like I didn't get exactly what I wanted. And and in trying to get exactly what I wanted, everybody was being defensive with me. Like I won't say everybody, but my technician, the person who I had there with me to ask, was being defensive with me. So at this point, I just wanted to get out. Finally, when I finally talked to the person who I originally talked to on the phone from the beginning, um, you know, as I'm asking questions, I don't know. I guess because we were standing in a hallway. I don't really know, but she got like super annoyed and just like riled or something, and it happened really quickly actually because I was taken aback by it. Like anyway, she got like really riled and actually like yelled at me. So once that happened, like I completely just like shut down. I ended the conversation, which is my way. That's the way that I tend to handle things like that. But she yelled at me, and I completely shut down. Like I didn't. I like she as soon as she did it, you guys. Like I had a visible reaction. Like she did it, and I just kind of like smiled, really like this forceful smile almost, and then just like turned and like started to play with my hair and like walk towards the door. And she was like still so once that happened, she started to she brought her voice back down, and she started to like try to continue to kind of talk at my back. But like I was done, like because I was so uncomfortable and like I just wanted to go to work. And at this point, you guys have to imagine like I was ultra uncomfortable because I was uncomfortable at being yelled at, but then B, like my anxieties and like my dysphoria had been activated and like triggered by this point. So I was just like in a state. And I really, like I said, I had lost track of my questions and everything. Like I knew what I was there for, but like at that point, I didn't even. We were just running off whatever the technician had gone back and told them because I couldn't. I wasn't even like. I was kind of out of it at this point because I was out of it, but it was because I was like into like psychological fucking like battle and and keeping shit together. Um, so I left. I left pretty like stressed. Like you know what I mean? Like I left just down. I was like I guess I was a little bit hurt. Um, but more than that, like I felt really more than that, like I felt embarrassed. And I guess I got then I was like annoyed that I was embarrassed because I hadn't done anything. Do you know what I mean? But there's something embarrassing about like people thinking that or feeling like people are thinking that you're trying to be something different than what you actually are. Do you know what I mean? And so, I mean, I don't know. Like, and whatever that may be, whether that be like a feeling that they think you feel or just a way that you're trying to be, you know? And I don't know. So that's where I am with that. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, though. So I guess I'll keep you posted on that. Keep the lines of communication open there, and I will let you know what happens. Okay. I think that is all. I think that's all. Well, you know what? Like, I know, like, I don't want to end with like a negative story. Um, but in the end, and all in all, right? I think it looks nice. I think it looks great after just this first treatment, and I look forward to more treatments of really just like giving it to hair. You know what I mean? Like making that shit die, never to return. The thought just makes me so happy. Dying hair follicles. Listen, this too. As the session was going on, she was getting like really close, like on my upper lip, and I could smell the hairs burning so strongly, and it was making me so happy. I was so, you don't even know. Like, I was getting so excited by the smell of burning hair. I was like, yes! I know. Uh, you know. So, yeah. Um, lot of stuff. So anyway, I guess you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end it here. And I just wanna say thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching my little videos here. And I have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of fun with it, and it's a way for me to kind of release all my crazy. No, it's good. It's good. And yeah, it's good. Okay. So I love you guys. Have a great day.